right, this is the review for graphing linear inequalities. To graph linear inequalities is really, if you can graph a line, you can do linear inequalities. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to plot the slope and the y-intercept on our graph. So using our equation right here, remember that this is my y-intercept, and the -4 here is my slope. So I'm going to go to -4 on my y, and put a dot. Now my slope is -4, but remember that slope is always rise over run. So that would be -4 over 1. I can't go down 4, so I can go the opposite direction. I can go up 4, to the left 1, up 4, to the left 1. So plot your points. Now you need to determine if you have a solid line or dashed. And that goes back to our inequalities, just the same as having an open hole and a closed. If it's less than or greater than, it's dashed. Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, it's solid. So our symbol here is a greater than symbol. So we're going to take our ruler and we're going to make a dashed line. Okay. And the last step is to test for solutions, just like we do on the number line. But this time, because the fact we're dealing with two variables, we have an x and a y, we have to use a point. And an easy point to work with is 0, 0, as long as your graph doesn't go through 0, 0. All right, so I'm going to test it right here. And I'm going to test 0, 0. I'm going to put 0 in for x and 0 in for y. Is 0 greater than -4x? Oh, shouldn't have. Got to put that 0 in there. -4. Is 0 greater than -4 times 0 is 0. -4 is -4. Is 0 greater than -4? The answer is yes. And just like on the number lines, if it's a yes, you draw your arrows towards 0, 0. But this time we're just going to follow all the way along our line. All the way up and down. We don't stop at the axes. Our line is our barrier. So this time you shade towards. Okay. All right, so for the second one, same thing. My y-intercept is -2. I'm going to go down 2. My slope is 1/4, so I'm going to go up 1, right 4. All right. If I look at my symbol here, I have a less than or equal to, so it's a closed line. So I'm going to make a solid line. Put my ruler on and draw a solid line. Okay. Same thing, we now need to test a point. So again, we're going to test 0, 0. So I'm going to test 0, 0. And see, 0 less than or equal to 1/4 times 0 minus 2. Is 0 less than or equal to -2? And this time the answer is no. So I'm going to shade away from 0, 0. So from here, I'm going to go away from 0, 0 along my line. Okay, so that's linear inequalities. Now let's talk about systems. A system is just 2 or more equations. So it's not any different than the previous 2 problems. We're just going to graph each one separately and then we shade the overlap. So graph each separately. And then darken the overlapping area. All right, so my first equation right here is y equals 5x minus 3. Minus 3 is my y-intercept. I'm going to go, my slope is 5 over 1. So I'm going to go up 5 over 1. This one is going to be dashed because it's open. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to make it dashed. And make sure you make it dashed so that it's obvious that it's dashed. And same thing, I'm going to test a point. I'm going to test 0, 0 in the first one. So 0 less than 5 times 0 minus 3 is 0 less than negative 3. And the answer is no. So instead of going towards 0, I'm going to go away. And I'm just going to go all the way across, up and down, just like what we did before. Now, I'm going to do the same thing for the second equation. I'm going to, this time, y-intercept starts at 3. My slope is negative 1, so that's negative 1 over 1. So I'm going to go down 1 over 1 and keep going. This time, it's solid. So I'm going to make a solid line. Again, I'm going to test 0, 0. And I'm going to use is 0 less than or equal to negative 0 plus 3? Is 0 less than or equal to 3? And this time the answer is yes. So for this line, I'm going to go towards 0. So that's step 1. We've graphed both of them. Now we're going to darken that overlap. And what we're going to look for is we're going to look where the lines cross like this. And that's not happening right here. It's not happening here. It's happening here. So you can see where they're crossing each other. So this little section here where they're doing it between the lines, you're going to darken. Because those are all the solutions that work for both equations. Now let's do this one. Y-intercept is negative 2. My slope is negative 1 over 2, so I'm going to go down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2. Look at my symbol. It's less than or equal to, so this one is going to be a solid line. Let's test our point. We're going to put 0, 0 in. Is 0 less than or equal to negative 1/2 times 0 minus 2? Is 0 less than or equal to negative 2? Answer is no. So we're going to shade away. Now do the second one. I'm going to start at 3. Slope is negative 3, so that remember that's negative 3 over 1. I'm going to go down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1. This is less than, so this time we have a dash line. Okay. Now test again 0, 0 in. Is 0 less than or equal to negative 3 times 0 plus 3? Is 0 less than or equal to 3? This time it's yes. So this one is going to go towards 0, 0. And so we can see down here, this is where they're crossing. So I'm going to shade darker. And that's it. Okay. So that's how you graph linear inequalities and systems of linear inequalities.